Marseille, 1815. The Mediterranean sun glints off harbor waters where dreams are born and destinies unfold with the turning of the tide. The scent of salt and fresh bread mingles in the morning air. Fishermen call to one another in ancient rhythms. Church bells mark the hour. And through the crowded docks walks a young man whose heart beats with the simple joy of a life well lived. Edmond Dantès, 19 years old, honest and ambitious, returns home aboard the Pharaon with extraordinary news. His captain, struck down by fever during the voyage, named Edmond to command the ship with his dying breath. Not through politics or privilege, but through merit earned on the open sea. The ship's owner, Monsieur Morel, confirms the appointment with a warm handshake. "Your father will be proud," he says, "and I suspect a certain young woman will have much to celebrate." At the harbor's edge, beneath ancient stone walls, Merx waits. Her dark eyes scan the crowd with an intensity born of love and longing. When she sees Edmond, her face transforms, all worry dissolved into radiant joy. He runs to her, lifts her, spins her as she laughs. From his pocket, Edmond produces a simple silver ring, all he can afford, but given with a full heart. "Marry me," he says, breathless. "We'll be married within the month. I'll be captain. We'll have a home. We'll have everything." She answers with a kiss, and their future spreads before them like an open sea under endless sky. That evening, friends gather at a waterfront cafe to celebrate. Wine flows. Music plays. Laughter fills the air. But at this table of joy sit three men whose smiles conceal daggers. Danglars, the ship's purser, has been embezzling for months. Edmond's promotion threatens to expose his crimes. Fernand Mondego, Merx's cousin, has loved her for years. She chose Edmond in an afternoon, and jealousy burns in Fernand's chest like acid. Watching them both is Gérard de Villefort, the ambitious prosecutor, who sees opportunity in every crisis. Danglars writes an anonymous letter of accusation. Fernand delivers it. The trap is set. 3 days later, during the engagement feast, soldiers arrive. "Edmond Dantès, you are under arrest for conspiracy against the crown." The words make no sense. Edmond laughs because the accusation is absurd. "There must be a mistake. I'll explain everything." But innocence always believes explanation will suffice. Merx clings to him, sobbing. "Don't go. Run." Edmond kisses her forehead. "This will be resolved by morning. Wait for me." He walks out in chains, looking back only once. He has no idea he will not see freedom again for 14 years. In Villefort's office, Edmond speaks with the clarity of truth. "I delivered a letter from Elba only because my dying captain commanded it. I don't even know what it contained. I was a messenger, nothing more." Villefort listens carefully. "And this letter, do you still have it?" Edmond produces it, sealed and untouched. Villefort opens it, reads, and his face turns to stone. The letter is addressed to Monsieur Noirtier, a known Bonapartist, Villefort's own father. If this letter becomes public, Villefort's career is destroyed. His future in the new government vanishes, all because of one honest sailor telling the truth. For 5 long seconds, justice balances on the edge of a knife. Then, Villefort walks to the fireplace and feeds the letter to the flames. "What are you doing?" "That's my only proof of innocence. You will be transferred to the Chateau immediately. No trial. No record. For the security of France." Edmond is dragged screaming from the room, and Villefort turns away, his conscience locked where it cannot interfere with ambition. The Chateau d'If is not a prison. It is a tomb for the living, a fortress of stone rising from the sea like a monument to forgotten souls. Edmond is thrown into a cell barely 6 feet wide. No window to mark the passage of days, no bed but cold stone. Only darkness, dampness, and the distant sound of waves against rock. At first, he clings to hope like a drowning man clings to driftwood. He marks days on the wall with his fingernails, scratching careful lines into unforgiving stone. 1 week. 2 weeks. A month. He shouts his innocence to guards who bring stale bread and fetid water. But they have heard these words 10,000 times before. 1 month becomes 6, then a year, then 5. Edmond's marks on the wall reach 100, then 500, then 1,000. Then he stops counting altogether. His father, old and dependent on Edmond's income, must have starved by now. Merckx, faithful and alone, must have been forced to marry another for survival. The ship he was meant to command sails under different hands. The world has moved on without pausing for his absence. Years dissolve into nothing. 2 years, 5, 10, 14. He stops speaking. The guards refer to him only as Prisoner 34. He is no longer a man with a name, a history, a future. He is a number, a thing. After 14 years of silence, Edmond prepares for death as one prepares for sleep. Then one night, he hears something impossible. A sound, faint, rhythmic, persistent, stone scraping against stone, coming from beneath the floor. The sound continues for weeks. Edmond taps back. Then one evening, the stones shift, and through a narrow tunnel climbs a man who looks like a prophet from ancient texts. Ab Faria, white-bearded, skeletal, with eyes burning with fierce intelligence. "I've been digging for 3 years," Faria says. "I miscalculated. I meant to reach the outer wall. Instead, I found you. It is the most beautiful mistake of Edmond's life." Faria is a scholar, a priest, a polymath imprisoned for refusing to reveal the location of a legendary treasure. In the dim cell, he becomes Edmond's teacher. He teaches languages, mathematics, science, history, philosophy. "Your mind was your prison," Faria says. "Now it will be your weapon." Years pass. Edmond transforms, his body becoming powerful, his mind becoming a blade. One evening, Faria commands, "Tell me everything about your arrest." Edmond recounts every detail. Faria listens like a physician diagnosing disease. Then, with terrible clarity, he names Edmond's betrayers. "Danglars feared your promotion would expose his embezzlement. Fernand desired your fiancée. Villefort sacrificed you to protect his political career. Not random misfortune. Deliberate, calculated betrayal. And now," Faria says, "I will give you the means to answer them." He reveals the treasure of Monte Cristo, a fortune hidden on a remote island, enough to buy kingdoms. With this wealth, you can become anything. But Edmond, Faria grips his hand. "Do not let vengeance consume your soul." But fate is cruel. Faria's body fails. A stroke paralyzes him. In his final moments, he presses a map into Edmond's hand. "Be more than your pain," he whispers. Then he dies. When guards come for Faria's body, Edmond switches places with the corpse, sewing himself into the burial shroud. He is carried to the fortress edge and hurled into the sea. The weighted shroud drags him down into darkness. His lungs scream for air. He tears through the canvas with desperate fingers and kicks toward the surface. He breaks through. Gasps. Alive. Behind him, the Chateau stands silent and indifferent. Edmond Dantès drowns in that sea. But something else survives. On the island of Monte Cristo, Edmond finds the treasure exactly where Faria described, hidden in a cave behind thick brush on a desolate shore. Inside the cavern, untouched by time, lies wealth beyond imagination. Gold coins spill from rotted chests. Jewels catch torchlight like captured stars, rubies, emeralds, diamonds the size of eggs. Ancient treasures accumulated by the Spada family across generations, waiting in darkness for someone worthy to claim them. Enough to buy armies, topple governments, reshape the world itself. But Edmond does not rush back to France in blind rage. He has learned patience in his stone cell. He has learned strategy from Faria's teaching. He disappears for 10 years. He travels through Italy, learning the manners of nobility and the secrets of art. Through Greece, studying philosophy and ancient wisdom. Through the Ottoman Empire, mastering finance and the hidden architecture of power. Through the courts of Europe, understanding how empires rise and fall. He becomes fluent in 7 languages. He acquires perfect manners, moving through high society as though born to silk and privilege. He transforms his body from prisoner's frame to gentleman's bearing. When he finally returns to Paris, he is utterly unrecognizable. No longer the hopeful young sailor with calloused hands and sun-weathered face. No longer Edmond Dantès. Now, he is the Count of Monte Cristo. Mysterious, impossibly wealthy, connected to every power broker in Europe with knowledge that seems almost supernatural. And with the patience of a spider, he begins to weave his web of justice. The Count does not announce himself. He infiltrates like morning mist. He saves Albert de Morcerf, Fernand's son, from bandits, earning entry into Parisian society. He deposits millions in Danglars' bank, becoming the financier's most valued client. He befriends Villefort's family, becoming a trusted confidant. Each enemy welcomes him, trusts him, never suspects. Then he strikes. Danglars falls first. The Count manipulates financial markets with surgical precision, triggering a catastrophic run on the bank. Danglars' fortune evaporates overnight. Facing prosecution, he flees France as a beggar, exactly as his indifference made Edmond's father a beggar. Villefort falls next, and most horrifically. The Count exposes a buried secret. Years ago, Villefort had an affair that produced an illegitimate son. To hide the scandal, he buried the infant alive. But the child survived, raised by enemies, now a man named Benedetto. Worse, poison spreads through Villefort's household. His wife Hlos, driven to madness by the Count's manipulation, murders family members before taking her own life. In the final courtroom scene, Villefort prosecutes Benedetto, only to have his own crimes revealed before all Paris. His mind shatters publicly. He collapses, destroyed by the weight of his sins. Then comes Fernand. Now General de Morcerf, decorated war hero, Fernand has built a life on lies. The Count brings Haide to Paris. A young Greek woman Fernand betrayed during a military campaign. He sold her father to enemies, sold her into slavery, built his fortune on their suffering. Before the Chamber of Peers, Haide testifies with devastating clarity. Fernand's medals are stripped, his title revoked. His name becomes synonymous with treachery. Unable to endure the disgrace, he returns home and ends his life. The Count watches from the shadows, feeling not triumph, but emptiness. Only Merx sees through the disguise. She recognizes Edmond not by appearance. 24 years have transformed him completely, but by the unmistakable sorrow that no wealth can erase. She confronts him, her voice breaking. "I know who you are, Edmond. I knew the moment I saw you. Stop before you destroy innocence along with the guilty." Her son Albert nearly died in a duel the Count orchestrated. Young Edward Villefort died because of poison the Count's manipulations set in motion. For the first time in 24 years, Edmond falters. He sees what vengeance has made him, a force of nature that punishes the guilty but destroys everything near them. Merx leaves Paris quietly, seeking peace rather than a life built on ruins. And Edmond understands the final truth Faria tried to teach him. Justice without mercy is just another prison. Edmond Dantès does not claim victory. He quietly distributes his wealth to those who suffered unjustly. He frees Haide from any obligation, giving her independence and fortune. She chooses, freely, to sail with him, not as possession, but as equal. Somewhere on the Mediterranean, under stars that witnessed both his imprisonment and liberation, Edmond finally understands. Suffering can create power, but only forgiveness ends the chain. The past cannot be undone. The dead cannot be restored, but the future can still be chosen. And for the first time in 24 years, Edmond Dantès chooses not revenge. He chooses freedom, a timeless tale reminding us that the chains we forge for others often bind us most tightly, and that true freedom comes not from vengeance, but from the courage to forgive. If you enjoyed this story and would like to see more classic tales brought to life, Please like and subscribe